Cannibals, people who will hunt you down in real life, and the most horrific NPC in the game. We have it all on today's top 10 gaming list. Coming in number 10, we have the Skin Man. You will come across a lot of weird people in the world of Rust. Most of them just want to be rude, but in this creepypasta, there was something that seemed to be much more horrific. People called him the Skin Man. They say that he would wander around the world at night and only kill people. He wouldn't even attack animals or anything else. He didn't even care about destroying someone's base. The only thing that he lived for was to kill humans. If he found you, you better run, because he's such a high level player that no one can kill him. He would chase you down, and if he killed you, he would skin you alive and then wear your skin. At night, you could hear players scream through their microphones just at the sight of the Skin Man. So if you thought someone coming in to destroy your sleeping bag was bad, then you have no idea how bad it can actually get. Coming in at number 9, we have the Beast. There's a legend of a creature in Rust that is worth its weight in gold. It's a beast that lives deep in the snowy mountains and walks like a man and has the strength of 10 bears. It will throw a stone at you with such speed that it will shatter your bones if it touches you, but if you can kill it, the loot will make you the richest man in the game. But you have to go alone. If you try to go with a team of people, then you won't be able to see it. The creature only spawns if you're alone. It must be a one-on-one fight. No one has ever killed the beast, and even when people try to tell others that they fought it, no one believes them. The devs deny that it's there, but I promise you that if you walk deep into the snowy mountains alone, then you will start to hear a roar of a beast as it comes towards you. I just hope that you're even better in combat than you are brave. Coming in at number 8, we have the Hacker. Some people love trolling, and this creepypasta is about trolling gone very wrong. There was a Rust player who would go out of his way to make the game worse for everyone else. They would prey on new players, they would harass people at the recycler, and do everything else to try and make the game worse for other people. Well, one day they messed with the wrong person. This player was griefing a kid all day, and eventually he got an email. It was from some strange unknown email that should have just gone straight to his junk folder, but for some reason it didn't. And all that was in the email was his home address, his IP address, and a screenshot of his Rust character. This freaked the hell out of him, and he didn't know what to do, so he just logged off the game and he left it all alone. A couple days went by and he was still too afraid to log on. Then one day he was walking to school and he felt his phone vibrate. It was another email from this mysterious person. It was a picture of him right where he was standing. He looked up and he saw no one. He looked around and he saw no one. He looked everywhere, but he couldn't see anyone anywhere. Who the hell was following him? It was just a game. Leave me alone, he screamed at the top of his lungs. Coming in at number 7, we have Dr. Rust. The story of Dr. Rust is that he's just a player like you or me. He's not violent. If you see him, he only wants to trade. He always offers you something fair for what you got, but every now and again he will offer you something extremely rare for nothing. All that he asks is that the next time you see him, you pay him back. And you better, because if you don't, he'll find you. You might wake up to find your mother or father missing, and they'll stay gone until the debt is paid. Coming in at number 6, we have Rust in real life. A streamer was playing Rust and they were getting so into it that they thought this is something they should do in real life. They spent every day just sitting at a desk playing video games, and there's a whole world out there. Why not take a break from this modern life and learn some real skills? Learn how to survive out in the wilderness without nothing but a backpack. So they decided to take a course. They signed up, and next week they would go out with a guide. The day came and they packed up their things and they got ready to head out on this adventure. When they showed up, they found out that no one else had decided to come on this wilderness trek. It was just going to be him and the guide. It was a little more intimate than he expected, but it just meant that he was going to learn a lot more while he was out there. The two of them left in a car and got to an entrance to a massive forest. They got out of the car and the guide said, "This is the last time you'll see civilization for 5 days, so you better take it in." The first 2 days were hard but interesting. Our streamer was learning a lot, and even though it was tough, it was very rewarding. Third day he woke up and he was all alone. Maybe the guide went to grab something while he was sleeping. He just waited and waited. Hours went by and it was almost going to get dark again. Now he was terrified. He went to search for the guide and eventually came to an opening in the trees that led off of a cliff. He looked down off the edge of the cliff and saw a body. It was the body of the guide. He must have fell, he wasn't moving. The sun was about to set, and our streamer had no idea how to get out of here or how to survive. Coming in at number 5, we have Hunted. A Rust tournament was going to be open to some gamers in Arkansas. This was a small event, and basically how the tournament was going to work was all players involved were going to play on a LAN server. They were getting pitted against one another, and the person who had the most resources and the best base at the end of the game would win. Every resource was worth a certain amount, and this would all be added up to who the winner was. Well, there were several gamers who showed up to this event. They all got to the building where this was supposed to take place, and it was out in the middle of nowhere, and the doors were locked to the building for some reason. Just then, 4 F-150s pulled up. Each one was packed with men who had face covers and high-powered rifles. Through a megaphone, the gamers heard, "This is Rust Live. Whoever's left alive at the end of the game gets to live." And then one of them fired a shot right through one of the gamers' shoulders. The game was on. Coming at number 4, we have the prison. We all know there are some very interesting things you can do in the world of Rust. You basically can force people to work for you. You can steal everything they own. You can come in and raid their base and take everything they've worked so hard to build. It's a game that is built on the foundation of breaking people's spirits and watching them suffer. That is probably why it's so popular on Twitch right now. There is one thing that gamers love to watch, and that is toxicity. So it should be no surprise that a Rust creepypasta was written about finding something extremely disturbing in the game. It would seem that someone took the idea of griefing a little too far. The writer of this creepypasta said they went to go raid someone's camp, and there was a basement to the camp. They were exploring for a little bit, and when they went down to the lower levels, there was a prison down there. In the prison, there was a bunch of starved and emaciated players. It was like a horror show. Someone had been keeping them down there for who knows how long. They tried to free them, but they couldn't break the locks. For some reason, the game wouldn't let them open the cages. Then someone ran up behind them and smacked them to the ground and forced them into one of the cages. They were now a prisoner, just like everyone else. Coming in number 3, we have Rust VR. Johnny was only 13 and he loved to play Rust. It was his favorite game. He signed up for everything to do with Rust. He was part of a Rust Facebook group. He followed Rust TikToks. Everything to do with the game he was knee deep in. Well, one day he got an email that said, "Hello Rust fan, you have been selected to try the new Rust VR." The email was from info@rust.ca, and he didn't know who could have sent this to him. He signed up for so much Rust related content in the past that it really could have been anyone, but he didn't want to pass up on this opportunity to join a community of Rust VR players. He accepted the invitation, and a message said that a VR set was going to be sent to his home right now. This was amazing. It arrived 2 days later. He immediately hooked it up to his computer and then started playing. It was so cool and lifelike. After a couple of hours, he tried to take off the headset, but he couldn't. It felt like it was ripping off his own skin whenever he tried. Then, in the corner of his eye, he saw something that said, "Cannot remove until the game is completed." Coming in at number 2, we have Cannibals. The person who wrote this said that they swear they saw this in the real game, and I have seen some people doing this in videos, so it could be true. But the writer of this creepypasta said they came across a clan of cannibals. They were running around capturing people and keeping them in cages. They built a base just so they could slaughter people. They would look for new players, and when they found them, they would threaten to kill them unless they stripped off all their items and then came back to their base. Once they arrived, they would force them right into cages and force them to become cannibals. Each person would only be given human meat to eat. Sometimes they would make 2 prisoners fight with rocks to see who gets to live and who will become food for the rest of the clan. Yeah, Rust is a game where you can do a lot of things, and some of those things are very dark. And coming at the number 1 spot, we have the Night Rider. There's apparently someone in the world of Rust that is a non-player character and something that can be very dangerous. They call him the Night Rider. He dresses in all black and has hollow pits for eyes. He rides a horse made of bones, and if he sees you, he will chase you down. Better move fast and try not to hide, because the Night Rider will blow right through any door. He is an all-powerful character that only goes away when the sun comes up. If he kills you in the game, then you are done for, because it means you have been marked. And not marked in the game, but marked in real life. You'll get a black letter sent to your house, and you can open it if you want, but you already know what it means. It means you're being hunted. Learn to sleep during the day, because at night, you'll have to run. Alright guys, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I have been your host, Jade Arena, and I'll see you on the next list. Bye. Cannibals, people who will hunt you down in real life, and the most horrific NPC in the game. We have I just hope that you're better in combat. The devs deny that